Good morning. Today's talk has to deal with the overuse of our young athletes and the injuries that they can potentially occur to them. You might be surprised to hear that in this country, the United States of America, there is an epidemic of injuries to young athletes. Each year, nearly 1.5 million kids suffer an injury due to athletics. And they're usually serious injuries. By the time kids are 12 and 13 years of age, they have known somebody or have themselves suffered from an ACL knee injury. And having multiple ACL injuries is becoming the norm. Many of the overuse injuries have happened to kids who are encouraged to participate by adults and play one sport and one sport only all year long. A young baseball player throwing too many pitches. A young girl playing too much soccer. It's happening all over the country. Thousands of female soccer players suffer from an ACL injury every year. A tear, a rip, a total replacement. It is the norm. When you were 12, did you even know what an ACL was? Perhaps because you had a friend or yourself had it happen. An ACL injury can take anywhere from 2.5 to 3 hours in the surgery itself. In most cases, the doctor has to take a body part from another spot and use to replace that ACL, a piece of a muscle from a muscle that may not be used as often. And then you've got a 9-month rehabilitation program. Kids are not professional athletes. Professional athletes can come back from an ACL tear rather quickly. 6 months, 7 months, sometimes sooner. Many kids do come back from an ACL injury. However, many studies have shown that they can develop osteoarthritis within about 10 years after suffering the injury. That could mean the end of an athletic life for an individual. And it's not just soccer or baseball. Gymnasts, swimmers, wrestlers, football players. It happens to all types of athletes. The American Sports Medicine Institute in the year 2000, saw a 5-fold increase in the number of serious elbow and shoulder injuries to young baseball players. A shoulder injury can put a player out for up to 8 months. Kids are doing a lot of whatever sport they choose, between private practices and team practices and tournaments and playing for multiple teams. It is not uncommon for a young female soccer player to play 140 to 150 games a year. The body is not prepared for that at age 14. The female body is still growing at that point in time. It is not necessarily year-round sports that may be doing the same, but it may be doing the same thing year-round. In other words, anything you do over and over and over again, the body is going to break down. So many young athletes are being pressured by the parents to playing one sport only. For example, kids are being made to make a choice between soccer and basketball, between basketball and baseball, between field hockey and basketball. The varsity coaches at the high school level are telling young players that they must choose one sport. Kids are becoming specialized between 7 and 8 years of age. Can someone tell if a 7 or 8-year-old is going to be the next LeBron James or Bryce Harper or Tiger Woods? The simple answer is no. But parents see LeBron James being successful at his age. We see Bryce Harper being successful at his age. We see Tiger Woods being successful at his age. And know that they started playing those sports at 7 to 8 years of age. And they feel that this is the way to go. When I was growing up, it was the 3-sport athlete that was idolized. If you came home with 3 letters in sports, you were the epitome of what an athlete was all about. Most athletes today do not get a chance to play multiple sports. Where is this pressure coming from? Well, back in the 80s, many public programs were starting to fade out, and private programs by sport entrepreneurs were starting to become the norm. A sport entrepreneur wants to have a family join their entrepreneurship and be with them all year round. So they have private practices. They've got pre- and postseason tournaments. They're playing multiple teams because they are specialized. And this is what puts the food onto the table of that sport entrepreneur. This is what keeps his family in a home. A soccer tournament in October with 400 teams can bring in $400,000 in entry fees. Most of the athletes in these tournaments / showcases are there because they want to be seen. They're told that there will be college coaches at these tournaments, and the college coaches want to see a player play. They don't want to see a player injured. They want to see the player play. The coaches tell them, we need to see you on the field. If you have an injury, you can't be on the field. One of the first questions that an orthopedic surgeon is asked by a parent is, how soon can my kid get back on the field? After all, he may be able to get a scholarship. If he doesn't get a scholarship, he or she may not be able to afford to go to college. Where is this pressure? The priorities, are they right or are they wrong? We all want our kids to do well. We want our kids to be successful. But when we're taking our kid and looking at a college scholarship and knowing that they have or just recently had a major injury or major surgery, where are our priorities? Are they in the right place? There are plenty of leagues and coaches and companies that are setting these priorities, these misplaced priorities for athletes, young athletes to play in tournaments, to build slick video resumes so that they can impress these college coaches. We have institutionalized a system within which these sport entrepreneurs don't deliberately deceive the parents, but implicitly they are deceiving the parents by saying that they can get them to their kid to the next level. What they may not be telling the parents is how hard it is to get to the next level. Each year, there are 2,000 college scholarships available for soccer players, male and female. And there are hundreds and thousands of kids playing soccer. 480,000 athletes play college sports each year, and only 2% of those get to the next level, the pro level. If you went to a racetrack and there was a horse that had odds of 100 to 1 to win that race, you probably wouldn't put a bet on that race, on that horse at least. But parents are putting this type of a bet on their children every day. Thank you very much. Have a great day.